I was 35, I realized it was getting thin while I was brushing my hair.
Around 18, I noticed my hair was already getting thin and receding hairline.
I felt like it made me look older.
It has a lot of impact on my dating scene. That's why I wear a hat all the time.
Sooner or later, about half of all men will begin losing their hair. And in 95% of the cases, androgenetic alopecia, better known as male pattern hair loss, is to blame.
Male pattern hair loss is exactly like it sounds. It occurs in men, and it follows a very recognizable pattern of recession and thinning in the back. And if it progresses enough, the back thinning and the front recession meet, and you have a hairless top of your scalp.
Folklore often credits the mother's side of the family with passing the genes that trigger male pattern hair loss, but that is an old wives' tale. Either side may be responsible.
If there's hair loss on your mom's side of the family or hair loss on your dad's side of the family, it can affect you.
21-year-old Ryan Mongan knows how he inherited his male pattern hair loss from his dad.
My father started losing his hair at about the age of 35, I would say, and he decided to do something about it at about the age of 38.
Men with these genes are more susceptible to a hormone in the body called dihydrotestosterone, DHT, which causes hair follicles to shrink.
If you've inherited genes that make your hair sensitive to the miniaturizing effects of the male hormones, your hair will miniaturize in this pattern distribution and get smaller and smaller until you look like you see more skin than you do hair.
I first started realizing my hair was thinning at about the age of 17. I noticed there was a lot of thinning around the edges of the front portion of my hair, and I just noticed that it kept getting progressively worse.
And like more than half of men who were going bald, he had to put up with jokes from friends.
They say, like, oh, look how big your forehead is now. It's just like, haha, I laugh it off, but, you know, it kind of hurts inside.
Still, like many men, Ryan didn't act right away. Surveys indicate that of the men who waited to take action, more than a third didn't think their hair loss was bad enough, and about 16% didn't think their hair loss could get worse, and 14% didn't think that there were any acceptable options. Ryan, however, knew better because his dad had gotten help and encouraged Ryan to do the same.
I regretted very much not starting earlier because it's been getting progressively worse every couple of months for the last 2 years.
Ryan followed in his father's footsteps and went to see his doctor.
The first thing you have to do if you're suffering from hair loss is go and see a physician who's knowledgeable in treating hair loss and understands the causes of it. So if you have inherited hair loss, then you should go speak to a physician, get that diagnosis, and then hear about the choices.
And unlike decades ago, there are choices.
We've come an awful long way in the medical treatment of hair loss over the last couple of decades, and there are many things that you can do now that can really improve your hair loss situation.
Timing is important. The experts say the earlier you start, the better off you will be.
When you should treat your hair loss is when you look in the mirror and you say, you know what, I'm losing my hair and I don't want to. I don't believe you should wait until it progresses.
Psychologists say that though many men deny it, claiming they couldn't care less, hair loss is usually an emotional issue.
I tried not to think about it, actually, and I wore hats. I was very big with hats. Had derbies, I had all sorts of different hats.
Ryan Mongan is also big on hats and is rarely without his baseball cap, but it can be awkward.
Especially around my family, like going up to dinners, like Thanksgiving and stuff, where like you're sitting at a table and you're giving thanks and you're not supposed to be wearing a hat.
Ryan talked to his doctor about his hair loss, and if you're losing your hair, talk to a doctor. There are treatments available.